Well, do you know the government has a free program to help you with your love life? I'm not talking about Viagra. Actually, what the government has is programs all over the country. And these are offices that will give you free condoms, free HIV testing, free testing for STDs and treatments and things like that. And all you have to do is go to the CDC, Center for Disease Control website, and that's hivtest.cdc.gov. You put in your zip code and you find out all the offices near you that will help you, right? So don't be spreading a little too much love around when you really shouldn't be. And again, the website is hivtest.cdc.gov, right? And I guess Viagra is covered too under under Obamacare, but that's another issue. So who knew that they'd help you with your love life, huh? Well, this year the government's at it again. It actually started like 73 new grant programs that are started by the federal government. This is in Washington. Then it trickle-down theory. It all goes down to the states and local governments and all that kind of stuff. But here today I'm going to show you how to find out about these new grants and really any grant from Washington. You don't have to give me money or anybody else. I'll show you the source. This is where I copy from. And really this website, I made a New York Times bestseller out of it. I took the information here, cut and pasted it, went down to the it wasn't on the web at that time, but it was at the government printing office, and I sent it to New York, and they published it and became a New York Times bestseller, and I didn't write a lick. I just copied the whole thing, and now this information is for free, like I got it for free on this website. You go to cfda.gov. That's Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance.gov. You go there and you'll see this page here, and I'll show you there's 2,279 programs. These are programs that give out money, all kinds of money. So what we're going to cover just some of the new ones that came out this year, because every year they keep adding. This government doesn't shrink or go away. It keeps growing, and there's new ones. Now over on the right hand side of this, the web page, you'll see the highlight things that added programs since last publication date. Okay, you click on that, and there you'll see a listing of all the new programs. And if you go down that list, then you see the ones that interest you, you could find out more detail about. It's sort of like if you go down in the beginning here, they say local food production program. And you say, well, what the hell is that? I don't need any of that. But you may. See, the thing with this government information is what they call it is may not be anywhere related to how you can use it. And the objective of this is how can you take advantage of something the government says is one thing, and you could turn what you want to do into the same thing that they're giving out money for. So like here, you go onto that local food production program. You click there and you see the details of the program. And it shows you, the objectives of the program, who's to get the money and what. And when you read that, it's really for anybody who's trying to get and sell local fresh food. You have a little farm, you have a garden, or anything like that. You want to sell fresh fruit and vegetables. Well, that's money to help you do that. Or maybe you could get a bunch of people together to do that. But this is, see, the opportunity in new money on all this is because no one has done it before. So it's not institutionalized yet. So they're giving out millions of dollars or whatever, and nobody really knows about it yet. So the line is short. That's where the opportunity is. And don't only look at this, as the objective of that program, because you're not, whatever it is they say, there's a way to do it. You could find a farmer and help them do it. Find other farmers and do it. And now you have a business or an opportunity of collecting these people and showing them how to get government money because they have fresh fruit and vegetables. See? And you learn the process. And see, if you go down on the description a little bit, you'll see the contact person there. And it shows you how many, there's $15 million in the program. Last year there was zero, zip. And this year, $15 million. So these poor bureaucrats have to figure out how to spend $15 million. In a couple of years from now, they'll have it all figured out, and they'll have their regular suppliers and everything that will take the money because they figured out that was there, and they got in line. So that's why there's a bigger opportunity now with new programs. That's why you should go through these programs with a fine-tooth comb and see how you could use it. And then you go and contact the headquarters office, because see, this is money you don't apply at the federal government. It's somewhere locally. They give a bunch of money locally, and then individuals apply to it from there. So you contact that local office. You have the name of the person, their phone number, everything you know, like a hotshot lobbyist, to find out about that program and say, hey, I live in Erie, Pennsylvania. Who got money like this around here so I could get some? And that's what's neat about this. The eligibility requirements are there and everything. But again, you have to have an open mind to find out and figure out how you could do it. Now, here's what. For Sheep Production and Marketing Grant Program. Gosh, if you're selling wool sweaters, that's Sheep Production and Marketing Grant Program. You're eligible for that. See, who would have thought? You think you're raising sheep in your backyard. No, it's for sheep-related products, too. So that's the important thing about this. You have to know how to use this. Here's a farm-to-school training and technical assistance. Well, I'm not a school or whatever. No, they're trying to get products from the farm to sell to school. So local products, local farm products to sell, so they don't have these processed foods at the school. So again, if you're not into the business doing, you go down to the local farmers market and say, hey, I know where you guys can get money to sell your food at school, and give me 20% if I figure out how to do it. See? There's always a way to do this kind of stuff. Okay, here, Science and Research Park Development Grants. Wow, well, I'm not a park. It doesn't matter. That means somebody's going to get millions and millions and millions of dollars to build a science park. If they build a science park, that means jobs, man. Jobs are coming to your area. So you want to know where those parks are that's going up, because jobs, growth, opportunity, all this kind of stuff. If you have anything to sell, or you have a service to sell, or you just need a job, they're going to be creating them there. So you want to know ahead of time where this is going to be, and that's how to find out. So you'll know, 6 months from now they'll be opening up, and you will already know now and be the first in line. So that's why these things create opportunities. Economic justice assistance for state governments. What is that? That's when they're closing bases. We're going to close a lot of bases all around the country now. And they're going to throw money at that, billions of dollars. There'll be money for, just think of all the surplus property you get, make a business out of that. You got a yard sale with tanks in it, or whatever. They'll be giving money to small businesses that are hurt by that. So you got to make sure you're in line if you had a small business close by that you are hurt. Job training, moving expenses, all this. There's going to be so many. There's a lot of money there, man. There's opportunity. So you want to know that. Here, Jobs Plus Pilot Initiative. Okay, well, that's really jobs for low income. If you're low income, well, you want to find out where that program is. Again, you go to the contact information in that program, get the people locally, and find out about the program. It's hard to call someone in your local government because they don't know, and they're not even there yet. So that's why you have to go to Washington, who's a contact person locally, and that's the way you get first in line for all this. You can't be the last in line. There's nothing left by then. Family self-sufficiency program. That's another jobs program. So you're looking for work, need a job. Where's that money going to? See, everything in the government is public information. You're the public. No matter who the hell you are in this country, you're considered the public. And you have just as much right to that information as the President of the United States. So that's why you have the right to call and find out the specifics of how they're spending your money. This is what our country is all about, and the government's all about. So it's hard to realize that, because everybody seems so secretive and special, and they just work for the government. So here, sexual assault services. Wow. So that means somebody's getting grants to work, with people who've been sexually assaulted. Well, if this is an issue, maybe a personal issue for you, you want to get involved. Well, here's money going out for that. So you could get a direct grant, or you find the people who are getting those grants because you want to work for them. This is the kind of work you always dreamed of doing, or something like that. Or this is going to be a new opportunity. See, anytime new money is going out in grants or whatever for organizations that you really don't even want to get, they're going to be hiring people. So that's a job opportunity. That's what's neat about it. Or they have money for other things. Yeah, they have daycare services too, because now everybody's going to go to work, and it's a trickle down. So many things happen. Here, Vision 21. That's to help victims of violence. Almost the same as the other one. We're putting a lot of money, but this is money to go to the victims. So were you a victim of violence? We'll find out about this. You know somebody it is. Find out about this. See, this is what you can help other people. Besides just helping yourself, we're all selfish. I am too. But what's fun in life too is helping other people. Yeah, that's even more fun, to tell you the truth. Once you take care of yourself, and that's what you could do. So people, because these are money programs, other programs, give them legal help or whatever to get through this situation, and that's what the money's for. So if you don't know about it, you can't take advantage. Girls in the juvenile justice system, this is like orange is the new black. So there's special issues there too. And if you want to get involved in that, children of incarcerated parents, we have millions and millions of kids now that whose parents are in jail, so this is to help them. So if you're interested in that issue, here, preschool development grants. This is billions here, that it's going to go, if your kid's 4 or less, find out where this is money going, because this is free preschool, and it's more money for that. We're trying to put more money into that because we know that, the kid before 4 years old, like 90% of their brain development happens then. Later, you're just working on 10%. So we should be spending more time, effort, and money in the first 4 years, and forget about these college professors. They're not doing anything by then. It's who has them at 1 to 4 or 0 to 4, and that's why we're spending money there. So that's the Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance, CFDA.gov. And see, you know that. You don't have to buy any of my books. You'll know the system, but just understand how it works. It starts at federal, goes down, and then states kick in, and these are just 2,000 programs that are a start, but they're the major ones, and that's why that catalog, you'll see all the other housing programs. You're looking for any kind of program, start with that book, because you'll see the major federal programs. And it's not a book, it's online, searchable, and it's cool. Well, I don't know if your ear is close enough to the ground to figure out what's going on with food in our country right now, but we're generating, it seems to be, a new group of boutique farmers, young people that want to go back and be farmers of all things, and it's not the old kind of farming, like where you get 500 acres and you sit in a tractor all day and things like that. No, there's neat jobs and neat opportunities and really free land even to do things like this. And so many young people, there's programs now at federal level, some of it, state level, county level. Like our county even has a program where they give you land to young farmers, people that are thinking, hey, I think I'd like to do that, as maybe even as a career. So you could do it part-time until you really feel that you want to do it. And they give you land, and then you could work out a deal long-term to get the land and all this kind of stuff. Plus, besides getting the land for free, this is like the Old West, you get land if you go out and farm it. But you also get expertise. They give you all the help. People know really how to do this, and an existing farmer, somebody who's doing it. And actually, there's a video in the next interview of these. There's a young woman who just out of school, and she says, she wants to, plant fruits and vegetables and make a living and sell them to the farmers markets and things like that. And actually there's a restaurateur, a guy who owns restaurants, wants to start a small farm to grow fruits and vegetables and things like that, to have fresh food for the local restaurants. See, that's what's happening in our country now. We're not, we finally figured out it makes no sense at all to put food on a truck in California and drive it 3,000 miles for the people on the East Coast to eat it. Oh, that's crazy. You know? We're wasting energy, money, and all that kind of, and it tastes like hell too. So if you grow it locally, you know, that's what's available. And that's what's growing now as an opportunity for young people. Actually, the interview here is a young guy whose family was in the business, and he went to college off and then went to work for somebody, and he sat in some cubicle or something. This is crazy. I'm not going to sit in this place all day. And he had to go back and work on his family farm. And they have what they call an agritainment business, where they entertain people. And like even in Virginia, they consider this a whole new industry, where people come and pick their fresh fruits and vegetables and berries and stuff like that, or pumpkins or Christmas trees. You get hay rides and all that kind of stuff. And they also provide, fresh fruits and vegetables and other things to farmers markets. I mean, farmers market is just booming in our society, and it's a fun living, and you'll always be able to eat, right? Food on your table, because you'll learn how to grow it. Yeah, and what could be better than that? So watch this and pay attention to what's going on in our country now, about this new way of farming. I mean, the average farmer in our country is 56 years old. All these old farts are going to be dying, but because they're in a different industry, to tell you the truth, I think this new industry is exciting. It's exciting for young people, and and energy saving and organic and all these kinds of things. This is for more boutique kind of farming. So take a look. Well, Tyler Butler, man, with Butler's Orchard. And I know Butler's Orchard for 20 years, maybe 30 years, because my little kids, we used to take our little kids and go up to your place and pick strawberries and blueberries and even Christmas trees one year. Man, so you found a way to make money, you and your family really, out of farming, but you call it agritainment, don't you? So you entertain people down on the farm and make it an experience. But more importantly, you're a young person and really love the agriculture business, the farmer's business. And
That's correct.
And you're trying to promote more young people to get into the farming business.
Exactly. Farmers, the average farmer's age in the country is 56, and
wow,
we need some youth out there, and that's where I come in and try to bring a lot of youth to the farming industry.
Well, I think that we as a country are starting to see the need for that. I mean, the growth in farmers markets, I mean, is just exploding. Restaurants want all local food. So now hip young people like you can go out near the suburbs and start growing stuff and selling it locally and have real good stuff. And people are doing that, aren't they?
It's such a great movement. We've seen this organic movement, and now we're seeing this local movement where people they want to buy local, whether it's farm products or other products. People really want to know who their farmer is. They want to know where their food's coming from. Our job at our farm is to connect the general public with their food. And what's better than me grow it and have other people pick it for you and then pay it for you. So that's a great system.
It beats getting a coat and tie and going down and sitting in an office cubicle, isn't it? But also you said it was interesting, before we went on there, you said you couldn't sit in one of these big combines and do 500 acres of wheat or whatever the hell it is all day either, could you?
Yeah, and so what I love most about my farm and the future that I have in my business is that we're growing over 20 different varieties of crops, and we're inviting people to our farm, and so we're not only just growing a crop and selling it wholesale, we're interacting with the public every day. We're giving them tractor rides, trolley rides. We're creating an experience. Wow. Yeah, so it's an experience for all families and really connecting all different age groups to where their food's coming from. And so for us, I love this job and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. And actually, my son is like 32 or something like that, out in Northern California. He's an engineer trained, an IT guy, but he's organic farming out there. He just loves it, doing that kind of stuff.
People love gardening. They love growing their own food, and it's addicting, and it's really great that it's catching on.
But now this program in our county where you and I live, Montgomery County, Maryland, we have something called the New Farmer Pilot Project. Now, so this is helping like young people like who aren't you and say, hey, I want to grow food. How do I do it? I don't have much money. This solves the problem for them, doesn't it?
It's right. It's a great program. The Department of Economic Development in our county came to us and wanted to know if we would be interested in mentoring a new farmer. And so these new farmers are just people interested in agriculture. They have no land, they have no ability, they have a little farming background, but they have this passion to grow fruit and grow crops and really produce something that eventually could be a business for them. So the new farmer pilot program is great in that it connects all different parts that would of a company to really make this person successful. So we're happy to be a mentor for our gentleman. His name is Charles, and he wants to be a persimmon farmer.
Wow.
So you know what? We're going to help him grow persimmons and do the best we can.
So in other words, he doesn't have to pay for your expertise. He gets your expertise for free, right?
That's right. So this program, it really makes it easy for a lot of people.
Right.
You know, there is some money that is used to keep the program going and keep people interested and help them get off their feet. And at this point, we're just communicating. It's all about connecting and bouncing ideas off of each other, and that's really all farming is.
But more importantly, land is required for filming. So, I mean, the fellow you're mentoring, he still has a full-time job in some hot building somewhere, right? And he's doing this part-time, but he got the land through this program too, right?
Right, and that's the biggest thing for all these farmers. I'm lucky enough to have a family farm to come back to, but I know there are so many young farmers out there that don't have the ability that I had. And so that's why I'm very passionate about this program along with other groups, is that all these young farmers with lots of passion, they have nowhere to turn to. They have no land, and land in Montgomery County where we live is I think is so expensive. So it's such a great program because it connects these new farmers, these growers with this passion to this farmland and this land, and these landowners are great people that really want to do something else with their land. For right now, a lot of these landowners just lease it out to big grain operations because they don't know what else to do with it. They really connect. They have something invested in this new farmer, and they really find a great joy in that.
So, I get one of the other people in this program is like a chef who said, I want to grow food instead. So they found him a land somewhere to grow his fresh fruit and vegetables that he's going to sell to local restaurants, right?
Yeah, I mean, what's better for a restaurant or a chef? You know, you have a chef that's passionate about his food, and he can tell you where he gets it from because he helped pick it himself. I mean, that's the direction this area is going in, and I think it's going to spread like wildfire.
Now, I mean, you know, Bethesda Row restaurants, I see signs in their windows there, all fruit and vegetables local, you know, and stuff like that. They're bragging that, you know, it's not coming in on a truck from Louisiana or somewhere.
Exactly. It's all about connecting the consumer with the farmer, and as a consumer, we want to know where it's coming from. So it's great marketing on their part, and it helps out the local guys. So it's helping everybody.
Not only that, man, I'm sure you get a better product. You don't have to eat some tomato that's been in a truck for 6 weeks.
And that's exactly right. You got these farmers markets where they're selling their fresh produce from all around.
Every day. And some areas of the country, they deliver these stuff to you and everything. I mean, this seems like to be a growth industry, local food. Is that the generic term, like the local food movement or something like that? I forget.
Yeah, it's called the local food movement.
Yeah, local food movement. I'm with you, man. I think that's where it's going. We're all getting fat, right? Relying on this processed food in the supermarkets. Go local, you know, and we get it better, faster, cheaper, and tastier.
And you walk in and you see them. Yeah, so it's very, you walk into all these grocery stores now and you see a whole local section, and you would never have seen that, you know.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, they're afraid if they don't do this, you guys are going to put them out of business. That's right. That's it. And you have, see, besides that local food, you're really given a farm experience too. So you invented a new kind of business, really. This agritainment business is a whole new industry that your family seems single-handedly to invent in this country. And yours is at Butler's Orchard. Why do I say orchid? That's what I think of flowers. Orchard.com. You got kids' hay rides and strawberry picking, anything you want. You come out with the kids for a day, and it's just a wonderful experience at your place.
Yeah, at Butler's Orchard, we have, in our county alone, we have over 1 million people. So
wow.
This county is loaded with people. They're looking to connect. And Butler's has 300 acres, and we, from blueberries and strawberries to blackberries to apples to pumpkins to even cutting your own Christmas tree down. We want you to come out to the farm and get to know your farmer and really enjoy the process while at it.
And now it looks like, man, if you like gardening, man, you could have your own orchard. Anything, with these programs that are popping up all over now. Yeah. What's so neat.
I would encourage everybody, get with your county executives and get with your county and talk to them about programs for new farmers, because it's...
So that's the key, because I know Department of Agriculture even has new farmer loan program if you want to buy land, but even that now, they let you use land for free to do it. So contact your local economic development agency, whatever county you're in, and find out what's local. Or you belong to something called the YoungGrowersAlliance.org. Now that's another, just young folks doing this stuff, right?
That's right. At Young Growers Alliance, we just are connecting young growers together, and in the farming business, it's all about connecting and bouncing ideas and learning from each other. And so we even got a group together, and they went to New Zealand to learn about growing different crops. And so not only are we this part of the northeast region of America, but we're spreading to the most of the United States, and even more now we're overseas. So it's just
wonderful.
It's just learning from experience.
Okay, if they want to find you, it's Butler's Orchard, ORCHARD, that one. That's the word I'm trying to say. .com, that's Butler's in front of that. Well, thank you so much, Tyler. You're a delight, and thank you and your family for being an institution in Montgomery County, Maryland, and giving us all this great food and great times to boot.
No problem. Thanks for talking.
Thank you. Well, this next interview, after you watch it, you're going to want to spend money on this thing because you think it's the neatest thing in the world. Or you're going to call the FBI because you're scared as hell as what the technology out there can do. And it's a fun app, but it uses very sophisticated technology. It's face recognition technology, the stuff that we hear about that's going to, able to us unlock doors because the computers are going to recognize us and our fingerprints and our face prints and all this kind of thing. Well, this bunch of IT folks have used it really to have fun with. What they could do is take your picture, on your phone or whatever it is, and their little software, what we'll do is make you look 10 pounds lighter. So you put on a little weight a little bit and take it, or they can make you look beautiful. They'll flatten out your skin and make it great, or change the color of your eyes. You want to know, hey, I always thought I'd be great with blue eyes, like Paul Newman or something like that. And you could do that with their app. And this app is like $5. They're developing it now, and you can get it for $5. It's incredible. And also what they do is you could make little avatars of yourself. Like you get a monkey or something, or a lizard, and your face gets on it, and it talks when you talk and everything. You create videos like this. It's just fun as heck, and it's a great thing to do. But what I think what's important about it is the technology, what we're able to do. Like for face recognition and things like this, where it's coming. Just to understand the technology alone and to see it in a play mode first. is, I think, very instructional, and it'd be great for anyone to take advantage of and to see in this $5 app. If you have a phone, and they're delightful people, and they're all kinds of things. I mean, could you imagine what's going to happen to dating sites, with the photos of people? Everybody's going to make themselves look gorgeous on this photo. Maybe they do already. And they put up other people's pictures. Well, the app does it all magically, and you don't have to know how to use all this high-tech software, because they figured it out, and made it easy for you. Just a push of a button and a click, and and you're a big handsome guy, not a little skinny guy. That's what's available. So watch this. It's fun. Oh, I forgot to tell you. It's only $5. Watch. Well, Julie Kasnaris. Now look, I've killed it. I said it so nice before we started, and now we start. I can't say it. Krasnienko, huh? Krasnienko. Okay.
Yeah.
Julie, how's that? But here's the one I shouldn't forget. It's Looksery, LOOKSERY.com. That's what you are.
That's where we are. That's where you need to go.
Right. And when people got to know what you're doing, it's so fun. I haven't seen so much fun on the internet or on an app or whatever in my 70 years of life. And you've developed this wonderful technology on an app that makes you look either funny or gorgeous or almost anything. I mean, it's face recognition technology you're working with. On this little app, you have crowdfunding now, and you can get it like for $5 or whatever. It's wonderful. But you explain it better what it does for people. What is it?
So, Looksery is an app that can change your face, and not just your face. No, it maybe in hair too.
Yes.
Soon. So that has some filters, presets that can change in one time eyes, nose, size, face shape, add color effect on your image, and also it can transform you in a cat or a lizard or a deer.
The cat, you make
avatar.
when you say you transform it, you have a cat, and then the cat's face moves like you're talking and everything, right?
That's right, yes. So we track your emotions, and the cat, you can record the video with as a cat.
I see.
Send it over to your friends or to your mom. Say, Mom, I had so much milk, I'm now a cat.
It's delightful. People ought to go to your site so they can see the video on Kickstarter. You have a campaign now. You're looking for $30,000, and like in just a few days, you almost got your $30,000. So this has taken off, like gangbusters. And so it's Looksery.com, and that will link you to Kickstarter, right? So you can watch that video for free, even if you don't want to split with the $5.
Check out our video, you'll like it.
Yeah, it is, and just to understand what's possible now, on apps and what you people have put together. You can see you change faces, you make people. You can, you look too fat, they make you thin. You don't like your nose, they make it small. You don't like your color, you want different color eyes, and it looks so real. I mean, it doesn't look enhanced at all. It's just perfect, beautiful colors. Yeah.
Yeah, we are working on making it as much better for you. So we are always on development. We look for your ideas to have what you want, what filters you'd like to have. Mm-hmm. So we can make this ultimate look for everyone. And also we'll add adjustments. So this means that you can adjust filters as you wish. You can adjust the eye color or face shape. You can get that feature on Kickstarter too.
So all these features now will be available, and the app will be ready like next month. So it's not one of these things on Kickstarter. You got to wait 10 months for the bloody thing. You're really just a few weeks out almost.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, that this will be available, and that's what I mean. I think it's so important for people to see the capabilities now that we have in software development, being able to recognize faces, change faces, or whatever that I assume we've never been able to do before, particularly at this price.
Yeah. So with this technology that we designed, you can you can actually use the SDK to make new products for a face. So, I mean, virtual products.
All right.
So, let's say you are a cosmetic company and you want to make an app that will show your customers how the blushes will look, or you sell different contacts of different colors so people can test them right in the app, and you don't even need to interact with customers in person. You can get a social network with them and send messages, because luxury is not just filter apps that can change your face. It can exchange messages. It will be a future social network.
I see. So you're also developing a social network that you
Yes.
could use yourself as an avatar, or even
Yes.
video you could create and make anything out of you, that is in your imagination to,
Yeah, that's correct.
to have a feel that it still is you, like you're going to be in a Steven Spielberg movie as some character, right?
Yeah, we can. So yeah, with our app, you can become a part of Steven Spielberg movie or a Disney cartoon,
Right.
as you wish. So yeah, you can record videos, short videos, you can make your own short movies,
Right, I see.
anyone, and send to your friends.
So this is a platform. So you're also providing cloud storage to keep your videos
Yes.
on and all that stuff. So it's
That's
much
very
more.
nice that you
Yeah.
recognize that. So we offer cloud storage to save your videos in our cloud. So you can embed them to any website. For example, you decided to change your face and you want to record a new video, an interview, whatever, a vlog. And then you can embed it anywhere or just upload it on YouTube. So you can save them or also store them in our cloud to be able to share them.
So that's what I mean. You're creating this network that no one has yet, and everybody now with selfies and video camera and everything. I think that's where everything is going in our life in the next 5-10 years at least. And you're in front of that, with people able to enhance their face, change their face, or just have a hell of a lot of fun. More fun that's legally possible, by just a little app. I mean, it's just a delightful thing that you've done, and I appreciate your work, just doing this. And I think what you have done for us too is expand how important the software and software development and apps and everything can be in our life. And it's going to be more and more important. And you're showing us that in a fun way too.
Yeah, that's true. We can be serious too. We can be serious. Both.
Oh, come on. You can.
We can have a business meeting looking like that.
That would be more interesting than me. So it's Looxery, LOOKSERY.com.
Yep,
And go there. That'll take you to Kickstarter. Watch that video to understand the capabilities that are now available to the average person for $5. Man, you're wonderful.
Yeah, you can save on cosmetics.
Right. Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you too. It was really great talking to you.
My pleasure. Take care.
Bye-bye.
There's a whole new way now of monitoring your home when you're not there. And it's actually using the internet and using what they call the Internet of Things. This is where you have feedback loops of all kinds of things in your home. So, I mean, these traditional, home security systems that charge you either a couple $100 to install it, and then they get you $40, $50 a month for the rest of your life, and contracts, and you wind up charging, thousands of dollars before you finish it. This thing is like $250 one time, but it does even so many things, and it's in development now, so that's why you can get a real bargain on it. But more importantly, I think it's learning what's available out there now by using technology, the feedback loops. This gets smart. In your house, it could look like just a wall clock, because it's really it looks like an iPad, and you set it up in your house, and you could operate it remotely, talk to your dog remotely, or anything you want, and actually see what you're able to do in this system, and the technology is there. Somebody comes to the door and it's locked, you can unlock it through that system. See, there's so many other things that are going to be available now through this Internet of Things. Well, everything will be communicated, on an app. your iPhone and through the internet, then it could do that. So there'll be little sensors in your lock, little sensors everywhere to turn things on. Yeah, you want to raise the temperature of the room, lower the temperature. You're not going to be home for a long time, so you might as well shut the temperature down more and things like this. So there's so many things to control your life, and when we start doing that, we'll be more efficient society. So we'll lose less heat, and we'll be more energy efficient that way because we'll be able to control it, by our iPhone or whatever, any kind of phone, and set it. And plus, it has a memory to, hey, this house is empty, from 5 o'clock till 10 o'clock every night. So it'll automatically adjust. You program it and things like this. So that's why, things that I think you should investigate and be aware of just to realize what's coming down the pike, or whatever you call it, depending on how old you are. We all call it different things. But what's going to be happening in our near future? The technology is there, and it's just how convenient it does. And all these old systems that charge so much money, this is all cheaper because the infrastructure is there. So it's going to be a fraction of the cost to do a heck of a lot more. So watch this and start learning about all that. Well, Wendy T, and with Sentry with an I, just like Chi with an I, but it's Sentry, SENTRI.me. And you guys have developed probably the smartest goddamn thing every house needs. And you're going to make your house a genius. And for like the lowest price I think I've ever seen in my life. People on the market selling the same thing that you're selling, like for $200, $250. They're selling it for thousands of dollars. Yours is nicer. Yours is more elegant. It does more stuff. And I can run everything from my app. Right?
Yep, basically that's it. That's kind of like a great pitch right there.
But what are the features? I see it controls, I could be anywhere in the world and control my temperature, right, of the house and stuff like that. And I could see what my dog's doing, right, on my app, in your house. And what else? What else is cool about this?
Yeah, so in addition to kind of like having a camera and motion detector that will, you can like see basically what's happening in your home. It also has sensors that tracks your home's temperature, humidity, and like air quality levels. Because security isn't just kind of like about like people coming in or going out unexpectedly, but it's also about kind of like the physical state of your home. So if you see like a sudden uptick in temperature, that could indicate like a starting fire. Yeah. So you may want to check in and see like if everything's okay and like basically be able to call somebody before the fire.
But not only that, to me, if it gets too hot, man, your plants are going to die. You're away for the day or something, and it's too hot for that, or your artwork starts curling on the edges or something like that. All these things could happen with the humidity and temperature and something. So I can control that now, with a Sentry from your app, right? Anywhere in the world. I don't have to call a neighbor and tell them to check it out or something.
Yeah, so like if you own like any other smart devices, so like for example, we're moving towards a world where basically you can close your blinds remotely, you can turn off your light remotely, you don't have to be home for that, you can unlock your door, you can control it all from kind of like one central app instead of having to go to multiple apps to do it.
Well, that's what I think is great about your product. You're really teaching us not only the environment of the home, but the other kinds of things like the lock, kind of thing. Because we should. That would be great. Just think, the kid gets home and he can't get in or something like that. And I could, or somebody, I could say, hey, why don't you go to my house? Oh, geez, I don't have a key. Don't worry. Give me a call when you get to the front door and bloop. I let you in, and that's not a whole big sum of money to do nowadays either, is it?
Yeah, no. I think that other products are on the market kind of for similar prices. So like you can get like a smart lock now for like $200.
Yeah.
But like ours is really kind of meant to be kind of like if you already own several of them or this is your first one, it's a great introduction to basically a smart home and what you can know from your home. So
think about your Sentry is just it's for us at a very reasonable price to start to get to know what is going to happen, not only in your home but in the future. This is how we're going to live in the future. I mean, we're all going to have this, and so you might as well get on the ground floor now and start learning how to best use this kind of tool, because that's what it is. It's going to save you money, whether it's on your air conditioning, and yours gets smart as it gets longer, right? As you use it longer. How does that work?
The longer, like, it basically learns your habits. So
Oops.
basically, if it knows that like you aren't really home at like noon every day, like it'll like make sure to alert you of certain things. And then it knows when you come home too. So because it kind
Wow.
of connects on your Wi-Fi network, so you can kind of see like, oh, so today Matthew came home at like yeah, those are things that you can program and teach it, and over time it'll learn as well. And so it can adjust kind of its behavior according to like your own personal habits. So it's not like you're just buying a random product off the shelf. It's something that like becomes your own over time too.
But no, I mean, it's sort of like, to me, I think, well, it knows to compensate for my golf swing if I have a real fast golf swing. Yeah, that's what you need an app for. But this is what this does, is compensates for what your habits are around the house. So you're never in this room. So this room, could be a lot cooler because nobody's there all the time, right? And you're going to save a bunch of money, to do that. Because it seems like all these sensors are really, it seems, I mean, is the term what they use, the Internet of Everything or something like that?
Yeah, it's called an Internet of Things right now.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like this whole movement where everything's becoming smarter. I think I was just reading about a cup now where it can like read like how much the composition of your liquid, basically. So I mean, it's kind of like everything is becoming smarter.
But it's important because we'll get more use out of our resources or our possessions or whatever. I mean, it seems we'll be smarter about all this stuff if we have that feedback and these sensors. I mean, it seems like, God, why have the heat, at 72 all the time when you're only there 3 hours a day, or when you come in the room,
I know. So it's like in like DC, for example, it'll be like freezing cold in the winter time, and you don't necessarily want to have like your heater running the entire day, but you can make sure that it's turned on by the time you come home. It's nice and toasty. So.
But the sweetest thing, I mean, people have to go to Sentry, SENTRI .me, M-E, because, if you look at the Kickstarter video, I think the sweetest thing is when the dog, oh, there it is, good. That's the device. But when you had that video where the dog sees you on the Sentry, you're at the office, and the dog can see you and you see the dog, and the dog's licking the Sentry because they think it's you.
Exactly.
I mean, that's phenomenal stuff. And that's why I think it's so important to have people like you around, and your team that put this together. I mean, and it's obviously going to be a hell of a success because, if in 48 hours you get $200,000 and you still got 3 more weeks to go, man, people ought to get it now, because once you're out in the market, man, who knows what this price is going to be, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we're expecting it to retail for 350 plus, and right now you can claim it for 249 on.
Right. And you're throwing steak knives too, all right?
There might be a few like new additions to kind of the product that will be a surprise.
Well, that's wonderful. So you go to Sentry, SENTRI .me, M-E, and look at the video, because that says it all. That's all you have to look at to see how important and really how elegant of a device. I mean, you have something in your room, or whatever, that just looks like an elegant clock or whatever. It's not one of these alarm system people come in and they're going to rearrange your whole bloody house, with all this equipment, charge you thousands of dollars and pretend you're safe, when now you could do it for less than $250, right?
Yeah.
Well, wonderful, Wendy. Thank you so much. Thanks for being there. And that's Sentry.me.
No problem. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Take care. Bye.
Believe me, you'll watch this next video and you'll feel so proud to be living in an era that we are today. I mean, now we have so many bright young people creating products, that could really help society and help us get more efficient use out of ourselves and everybody in our society. And they're not having to go through some big company and wait for gatekeepers. They're just doing it themselves on the internet. I mean, these young guys that developed this product, man, it's really like a wheelchair that makes you feel like a rock star. You know how in their lives, we see people in wheelchairs and we feel sorry for them, and I'm sure they feel sorry for themselves in a way because they're not treated the same and everything. Well, man, they developed this wheelchair that just looks like a sports car, man. And it operates like that. It can go like hell if it wants. It goes over all kind of terrains and everything. And it's not outrageously priced. It's reasonable. It's not like one of those $200,000 cars we have nowadays. No, it's reasonable for the average person that makes them feel special, makes them feel contributing more in life, that gives them more satisfaction because people are coming up to them because they're so special just by having this chair. It's the same way like me with the suit. People come up to me. I'm the same schmuck who grew up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, but they think I'm some special guy because I wear this thing. And that's how our society is. And that part of it is fun. So we could get more out of the individual lives that we have in the society by treating them special. So we have people like this that are identifying needs of people that have unusual needs, and they have to be satisfied too, besides the masses, the rest of us. And that's what's neat. And then they're using technology, and they're smarts, and the tools of the internet, so they don't have to go to some big company to get approval to do something, and the people will never see a market, and why do that? No, they're just going right on the internet. They think it's so good, and they know, and in their heart, they're driven with their heart. And that's what's so neat about the internet too. You can drive with your heart. You don't have to convince the world yet. The people will tell you. You put your product on the internet like this, and that will tell you. You don't have to have some smarty pants say it's good, because the smarty pants don't know anymore. It can't. Life's too complicated for smarty pants to know everything. But the group does. I mean, this is why it's crowds, that tell you whether it's good or not. And then you know for sure, and they're being so successful out of this. And as we're doing this now, they're only halfway through and they're almost made their goal. So this thing is going to be out there helping people, make people feel better. Now, what's better in life than to help somebody else and make them feel better? So watch how they did. Chris Koyama, and you said it's like your mama, but it's not like my mama because her name was Vern. But you got an interesting, I think one of the coolest things I've ever seen, on the internet now, because it's not only are you solving a problem for a needed community, one of the biggest growing communities, at least here in the United States, and I guess in Japan too, where you from, on the aging population, So people, you designed a wheelchair, man, that looks like a race car. and it's hip as hell. It's a what?
Themselves the Tesla of sidewalks.
The Tesla stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. Man, it's something you want to get in. These old wheelchairs, these little carts that old people drive around in, they just make you look older, man. When you get in one of these, man, you look hip, and also it has muscle. It's a power machine. I saw this thing on your video. People got to go to Kickstarter to see your video because, man, this thing climbs a hill like my Mini Cooper.
Yeah, it's four-wheel drive. It does really well on all terrains, grass, gravel.
I know, gravel.
Snow even.
Is that all because of those fancy little wheels you got in there? What's going on in that thing?
Yeah, so that's our Omni wheel. It's consists of 24 smaller wheels, and it helps that it's relatively larger than the conventional power chairs or mobility scooters, for example. That way, because of the bigger diameter, you can go over terrains easier.
Ah, I see. So,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look bigger. Only it looks, just cooler to me. And I guess eventually you're going to make different colors, I would think, because this is ideal for setting up in all kind of colors and things.
Yeah, so hot pink is definitely.
So this does everything, but it just doesn't go upstairs. But all the other junk in the road, you'll just travel like, and you say it almost floats over this stuff.
Right. So the Omni wheel. So the challenge with the front wheels with these mobility devices is that when you have a smaller caster, it gives you that tight turning radius.
I see.
But you lose that terrain coverage. You get stuck in cracks. It's harder to go over objects. With the bigger wheels, you gain that. You're able to go over things, but then you lose that maneuverability. So our solution was the Omni wheel, which lets you glide sideways and turn on the spot. So we achieved both going over trains and also the maneuverability.
I mean, it looks like the wheels go sideways. You park at something. I mean, you just turn on a dime on these things, don't you?
Exactly. So the wheels are actually gliding on the spot. So it gives you.
And what powers this thing?
It's electric.
Right.
You charge it just like you charge anything else in your house, straight out of the wall. And then
Wall socket. So I don't need some big, gas station thing in my backyard to charge it up, right? And you say now it's going to have an app where you could call this thing to where you're sitting and get into it and things like that?
Exactly. Yep.
Wow.
So we've got the hardware design pretty much complete. We're working on the software integration right now. This app will be able to control the device remotely, just like you said, but also control all the settings of the device. So you can have a certain acceleration level, or some parents like to, have a set maximum speed for
governor. Now, your kids would love this bloody thing. But it's a classy thing. I mean, this isn't like a $200 product or anything. This is a substantial product, and no one. I mean, I've never seen anything remotely like this anywhere, and I just can't wait till you guys get this out in the market. I mean, now mobility is so important in our society. And it's so important, particularly when our cities are getting like Tokyo too. We get more and more people, and you want to get out and do stuff. But the coolest thing that Timmy, like in your video, you had this lady was in the shopping center or whatever, in the supermarket with her thing, and she said people were coming up to her asking, and saying how cool she was in this thing, instead of her being embarrassed because she had some kind of disability and couldn't walk normally.
Yeah, that's actually a big part of what we're trying to do is change people's perception about mobility devices. People tend to be a little embarrassed about the device they're in. They feel less confident. But we're trying to change that through smart design and advanced technology like the Omni we were just talking about.
But I mean, the whole thing, right? I guess you're cool. Now you're cool with a disability for the first time. Yeah? Now you attract people because of the disability. And people come up and really have a great reason to talk to you. And I would think if you had a disability, I mean, I feel like people are afraid to even say hello because they don't know how to deal with somebody with a disability and things like that. So they're afraid to ask. And that breaks all these barriers, doesn't it?
It really does. My dad's in a wheelchair, and I'm embarrassed as much as he is, being in this ugly, bulky device. And I think just changing how you feel about yourself and being confident. It can be done through something like you said. It can be an advantage being in these devices.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like you're driving a Tesla, as you said, right? Around. People, hey, what's that? What are you doing? Hey, that's cool. And that's one of these things. Particularly that's why I think the most important time to get one now is on Kickstarter, because you'll be the first one in your neighborhood for sure with anything remotely close to like this. Once you get in the market, not only that you're going to have to pay more because there'll be more middlemen probably, but man, you see these all over, then you're not as cool. So you really want to be cool, one of the first cool kids.
Yeah, we definitely encourage you guys to go on Kickstarter and check us out.
But actually, to find you guys anywhere, it's WHILL.jp for Japan, not .com, but it's .jp, because your founder and you and a lot of guys really from Japan originally, right? And your technical expertise comes with it.
Yeah,
well,
In Tokyo, yep. It started in Tokyo. And our founders used to work for Nissan, Sony,
I
Olympus,
see.
and these companies, manufacturers in Japan. And that's where we started in Japan.
Well, that's, I mean, the product looks like one of those high-class manufacturing products too. I mean, they're not a run-of-the-mill something you're going to find in Walmart, you know. And these higher classy products you've made into this. I don't know, why do it can't be a wheelchair. I mean, because so you sit down in it, but it looks nothing like a wheelchair. Looks nothing like a scooter. It just looks cool as hell, and you don't have to walk. And it's called a will, WHILL. Like, I will get out today.
Yep. Yeah. The name is actually play on words. It's the unique wheel that we have, and also the will to change the world. Because what we're trying to do, our mission is to actually change the perception that people have with personal mobility devices, and the stigma people have with these devices is usually associated with being weak and ill and stuff like that. So, and we really think that can be changed.
You're doing it, and thank you so much for doing this and being involved with it and getting something as unique as this to the rest of us. And we couldn't do it without you. It's great, Chris, that you're there helping this along, and people want to do it again. It's will, WHILL.jp. At least, if you're not going to buy one of these things, at least see that video so you can tell anybody who has any kind of disability they'll need to get one of these. They're cool. Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right.